Building a long-lasting relationship, whether it's with a friend, a family member, or a romantic partner, is a journey filled with twists and turns. It's not always smooth sailing. In fact, it can be downright challenging. But let's face it, the bonds we form are some of the most precious aspects of our lives. They bring us joy, comfort, and a sense of belonging. However, even the strongest relationships can face pitfalls. Today, I want to talk about 10 common mistakes that can cause those bonds to crack. And trust me, mistake number 10 is the most crucial, so stick around for that. Let's kick things off with the first mistake: ineffective communication. You know how sometimes you think you're saying one thing, but the other person hears something completely different? Communication is the lifeblood of any relationship, and when it's unclear or infrequent, misunderstandings can easily arise. Many people choose to bottle up their feelings instead of expressing them, or they fail to truly listen to what the other person is saying. The consequences? Feelings of neglect and being unappreciated can start to creep in. Misunderstandings pile up like laundry that never gets folded, leading to tension and emotional distance. So how do we fix this? Dedicate time to meaningful conversations. Practice active listening. Make it a habit to express your thoughts clearly. And remember to avoid being judgmental. It's amazing how much a little clarity can strengthen a relationship. Next up is a big one: lack of mutual respect. Without respect, a relationship can crumble. Disregarding the opinions, preferences, or feelings of the other person can lead to deep emotional wounds. When one person feels undervalued, that's when conflicts arise. It creates an imbalance that can be hard to rectify. So what's the solution? Always respect the emotions and perspectives of others, even when you disagree. Acknowledge the value the other person brings to your life. Respect isn't just a word, it's an action that shows you care. Now let's talk about overdependence on the other person. We've all been there. Sometimes we lean too heavily on our partners or friends, whether it's emotionally or financially. This can make the relationship feel stifling, creating pressure or an overwhelming sense of responsibility for the other party. The relationship loses its balance, and one person can end up feeling trapped. To fix this, it's essential to build independence. Learn to solve personal problems on your own and create space for both individuals to grow. Remember, a healthy relationship is made up of two whole people, not two halves. Moving on to the fourth mistake: failing to maintain trust. Trust is the foundation of any long-lasting relationship. When promises are broken, truths are hidden, or transparency is lacking, trust can easily erode. The relationship becomes fragile, and feelings of doubt and insecurity fester. So, how do we fix it? Act with honesty and transparency in all situations. If you make a mistake, own up to it and take steps to correct it. Trust is built over time, but it can be shattered in an instant, so treat it with care. Now let's address another common pitfall: lack of effort from both sides. A long-term relationship isn't a one-person show. When only one person is putting in the effort, it creates an unbalanced dynamic that can lead to disappointment. One person may feel undervalued or neglected, and the emotional connection can begin to drain. To remedy this, both parties need to invest time and effort into building the relationship. It doesn't have to be grand gestures. Even small acts of care can go a long way. Regularly refresh the bond with thoughtful surprises or quality time together. The sixth mistake is not setting clear boundaries. Relationships can sometimes feel like a free-for-all, but failing to establish boundaries regarding personal space, finances, or privacy can lead to unnecessary conflicts. Both parties may feel invaded or disrespected, leading to resentment. To avoid this, have open discussions about necessary boundaries. Agree on them early on, and most importantly, respect each other's privacy and independence. Boundaries are not walls, they're guidelines that help keep the relationship healthy. Next, we have neglecting small acts of care. It's easy to take the little things for granted, but small gestures can make a huge difference. Saying thank you, sending a sweet text, or simply being present can keep the connection alive. When these acts of attention are absent, the relationship can grow cold. The other person may feel unappreciated, and that warmth can fade away. So how do we fix this? Make it a habit to show care through small actions, compliment each other, send encouraging messages, or carve out time for each other. Always acknowledge and appreciate the good things the other person does. It's the little things that often matter most. Now let's dive into a more serious issue: letting negative emotions take over. Anger, jealousy, or unresolved frustration can accumulate and weaken the relationship. Instead of addressing issues head-on, many people allow these negative emotions to dictate their actions, leading to unwanted consequences. This creates an increasing emotional distance and can cause psychological harm, eroding trust. So how do we combat this? Learn to manage your emotions. Don't let small issues escalate into major conflicts. Address problems calmly and reasonably, avoiding blame or criticism. It's essential to create a safe space where both parties can express their feelings without fear of judgment. The ninth mistake is not learning to forgive. Every relationship will encounter mistakes or misunderstandings at some point. If you fail to forgive and hold on to resentment, it only makes the relationship heavier and more challenging to sustain. Long-term coldness can set in, gradually disconnecting the emotional bond. So what's the solution? Learn to let go of the past and focus on improving the future. Show a willingness to repair the relationship instead of dwelling on past mistakes. Forgiveness is not just a gift to the other person, it's a gift to yourself. Finally, we arrive at the most critical mistake: not appreciating the relationship you have. This is the big one, folks. Many people take their relationships for granted due to familiarity, only realizing their worth when it's too late. The relationship gradually loses its meaning and shared purpose, leading to emotional distance and potential breakup. To avoid this pitfall, always remember the initial reasons that brought the relationship together. Take time to reflect and express gratitude for the other person. It's so easy to get caught up in the daily grind and forget how special those connections are. Make it a point to show appreciation regularly. Long-lasting relationships don't happen by chance. They are the result of effort, understanding, and learning from mistakes. By being aware of these common pitfalls and actively working to avoid them, we can build stronger, more enduring connections. I hope this discussion helps you navigate your relationships, avoiding unnecessary conflicts and fostering deeper bonds. If you found this content helpful, I encourage you to hit that like button, share it with someone who might need to hear this, and subscribe to Empowerment Vibe Chronicles for more inspiring videos. Remember, the journey of building and maintaining relationships is ongoing, and it's never too late to make positive changes. Thank you for being here, and take care of those precious connections in your life.